So for months I've been driving to work, and there's one route in particular that I take. It leads me along this public park. Now, I'd be driving in stop and go traffic. It's the morning, on the way to work. You know, there's the stressors of the day, the obligations that are going to be on my plate. And for this brief moment, there's this little reprieve. Here I am driving to work. Sometimes stressed, sometimes not. But I see these people walking their dogs, enjoying a coffee, just easing into the day. And I thought, I want to be there. I would much rather be taking a leisurely stroll through the park than feeling stressed and driving in stop and go traffic. Here I am at that park. You know, it's not even so much the park itself. I think it's more so what the park represents. You know, the park representing a reprieve, you know, a pause, you know, a chance to take a breath and sit under this oak tree here and just contemplate life, just take a slow moment to myself. That's really what it's about for me. So today, I want to tell you about a really cool book. It's a series of diary entries, 1977 through 2002. It's called Theft by Finding by David Sedaris. So what's so cool about this book to me is it's a peek into someone else's life, you know, living vicariously through someone else. It's interesting to hear someone who was very thoughtful and intentional in the way that he captured and documented those moments, just the small moments, those everyday moments in life. Now, I'd like to share a few entries just to give you a flavor, just to give you a taste of what this book is all about. Some little anecdotes that I've enjoyed reading. So this comes from May 17th, 1979 in Raleigh, North Carolina. Gas in 4 states is now selling for $1 a gallon. I'd love to work in a service station just so I could hear people complain. Apartment life is good. I'm using my ironing board as a kitchen table. And another one here. October 10th, 1980, Raleigh. I dropped my telephone again. Now it never rings, and I have to guess if someone's trying to contact me. And one more here. This is from April 12th, 1981, also Raleigh. Friday night, we went to dinner at the Villa Capri. Mom got lost on the way there. She took 2 or 3 incorrect turns and wound up jumping the median when she realized we were in the wrong lane and a car was heading directly toward us. Her excuse was that she hadn't had a drink yet. The reason I share these 3 little entries, you know, there's some longer entries in there. These were a little more pithy, a little more to the point. You know, just a fun, short quip that if you don't write something like that down, you know, in a day, 2 days, 3 days time, you forget it. Time is so fleeting. It's passing us all by pretty quickly that if you don't stop and relish even those small moments, those insignificant moments, they're kind of lost. A book like this, it feels accessible and it feels approachable. What I mean by that is this man decided to document his life, you know, these small moments. Of course, you're not going to capture every detail. That's not possible. You know, no one has the time to do that. But what's really neat about it is he thought back on a particular day and he tried to distill it down to one memorable moment. If you're able to recall even one memorable moment, in a way it feels like the day isn't lost. Sometimes I get away from reading for pleasure just because I think of my inadequacies and my shortcomings. Like, I'll start a book and not be able to finish it for months or years, and then I'll beat myself up about it, like I'm not a proficient reader, or I'm not driven, or I'm not focused. What's cool about this simple book is that the author will jump around from April 17th and then his next journal entry will be on June 1st, over a month later. So just seeing that encouraged me and made me realize I don't need to pen my thoughts every single day. I'm not going to capture every single moment. Why would I want to beat myself up about not being able to do that? So this book feels very accessible to me. Like I can write my thoughts when I think to do it, and I capture a special moment, you know, just from a random day in my life. One thing that's brought me a lot of joy this year has been writing my thoughts, capturing little moments. It could be you were eavesdropping and you overheard some interesting conversation, or it could be you had a special day with family and you want to look back on that and remember something from that day. I'm thirsty. Let's get some water going. So this book has changed my creative process for the better. In the introduction, the author talks about the reason he named it what it is, theft by finding. The concept there is, in the United Kingdom, if you find something of value and end up keeping it, it's known as theft by finding. And I guess the common courtesy associated with it is, if you find something of perceived value, then you give it the old college try, you do your due diligence, try to find the owner, and see if it was lost or stolen. If you're not able to find who the owner, the rightful owner is, then you're sort of entitled to it. So that's the idea there. He gives an example of finding a 5-pound note on the ground, just a small amount of money. He claims it as his own. That's sort of the idea there. I'm challenging myself to document part of my story, the way that I view the world, not from a place of vanity or thinking my perspective is so awesome, so unique. That's really not it at all. But I think what's cool about jumping into documenting my story, my creative process, the way that I view the world, hopefully then it inspires other people to do the same. One thing that my wife and I talk about is pockets of joy. So a pocket of joy is just an ordinary moment in which you experience true joy, unbridled joy, even in the small things. It doesn't need to be some huge life event. It could be you just had an incredible cappuccino and the barista skillfully, they did their little latte art and made some beautiful rosettas on the top for you to enjoy. Those little heart shapes. So that can be a pocket of joy. Or here I am today in this random public park that I've been driving past for months. I've been yearning to be there. I've been wondering what it's like to step into that environment, to step into that park. And so I did. And I think I owe a lot of it to this book. The point is I'm taking action. So this year I've written 45 journal entries. Love looking back on those. Super fun. I get to be creative with my word choices. I get to capture those conversations and those moments that brought me joy or brought me amusement on a particular day. But it's an extremely private thing, I would say. It lives exclusively in my Google Docs. What I want to do with this video or with YouTube is take it a step further. I want to take that concept of a journal entry, a small moment in time, relishing the little things in life, and I want to turn that into a video for others to enjoy, for others to draw inspiration from. Today is about taking the next step as my book is rustling here. The pages are flying. Some encouragement from a chronic overthinker right here. Don't just think about taking the walk in the park or doing the thing that you've been considering for a while, but actually go out and do it. Get it done. Take that walk in the park.